everybody. I love my coffee, and welcome to episode 15 of the Empowered Psychology podcast. My name is Cristela, and I am the host and the founder of Empowered Psychology. Empowered Psychology is an educational platform and community that gives a voice to those with visible and invisible illnesses with the goal of empowering others to overcome adversity and create their dream lives. Also, I am a scholar and aspiring psychologist, so I also love to talk about different topics that have to do with psychology, sociology, philosophy, art, etc. I have a lot of passions. Coffee happens to be one of my passions as well. So I bought this espresso maker that you put on the stove, and I've been having a blast trying different coffees, making my own coffees, learning how to make the coffee, because you make it on your own. So there's techniques and levels to this coffee stuff. So today I made myself some Cuban coffee. I always add oat milk. That's the only milk I like with my coffee. It tastes amazing. And I always add collagen to my coffee. I use the Vital Proteins collagen, and let me tell you, that product is amazing. The glow speaks for itself. I noticed a difference within hours of taking that supplement. I'm not even lying. Been taking it consistently for about 3 years. I love it. So let's get into today's video. Now, before I get into this video, it's been, I think, 2 weeks since I've uploaded, which I'm not proud of, but that's okay because behind the scenes, I have really been working on myself as a creator, as an artist, and getting my vision right. And guys, today I really want to come back with a bang, and I am, because I'm going to be sharing with y'all a technique I created. This is a training that I created. This is a journal entry that I created. This is a practice that I created. And the crazy part is I didn't even realize I was creating this amazing practice until later, okay? So I call this practice the How to Become Your Own Best Friend journaling / mind training / mental training practice. I clearly don't have like a set name on it, but it is a journaling practice. But what you're doing is you are literally training your mind. Now, when we think of training, most of us think of like training, like physical training, or maybe some training you need for your job. I don't know. But what about mental training? Mental training. And whether you know it or not, you are always training your mind. The thought processes that you currently have, you trained yourself to have. Seriously. And this is depressing, of course, because some of us, including myself, have had distorted thought processes, right? But it's also powerful because you are able to train your mind. Neuroplasticity. Let's talk about that. So neuroplasticity is the ability of the brain to reorganize itself, both in structure and how it functions. So good news, y'all. You have the power to reprogram your brain. And this mind training and journal entry will show you just how to do that. So in my previous episode, I talked about the first pillar of empowered psychology, which is awareness / self-awareness. And this journal entry ties into that. Now, I talked a lot in that video, and a lot of people may have watched it and have thought, okay, well, how the heck do I start cultivating awareness into my life? And that's the thing. We need to stop overcomplicating things. You do not need to overcomplicate things because sometimes we don't know where to start. So honestly, start with an issue that is constantly running through your mind. Start with the problem that you want to fix. Start with the current situation that may be bothering you. Start with the goals that you want to accomplish. You can start with anything. That's the beauty about this. But just start. Just start. So this practice trains your mind to develop the following skills: awareness / self-awareness, love/self-love, mindfulness, compassion/self-compassion, and critical thinking. So, how did I come up with this journal entry? So, it's a funny story. Well, I really started taking my mental health seriously around June of 2020. That's when I knew, you know what, I really want to heal and I want to conquer everything because I want to live my best life. And I have always been a very deep thinker. I've always had a lot of wisdom, and that has been a gift that I am glad to have. And I noticed that a lot of my friends would come to me for advice, and I would have honestly, I give like the best advice ever. I swear. And I'm amazed with myself that I'm able to give this advice. And at the same time, I was pissed because I wasn't following my own advice. And it was making me mad. So I was like, you know what? I'm done living that way, because to me, that's what creates like a split personality. And it creates like a double version of yourself, basically. And I was tired of that. So I was like, I want to become my own best friend. So that's why I call this the Becoming Your Own Best Friend mind training practice, because that is what you need to survive in this life and to conquer anything in this life. If you're listening to this podcast right now, it's because you want to be the best version of yourself. And what do you need to become the best version of yourself? You need yourself. You need to trust yourself. You need to have self-confidence. You need to be able to believe in yourself. And this is how you do it. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a piece of paper. Okay? I strongly suggest, guys, please get a journal. Please get a journal. I started taking my journaling seriously in 2021. I have not stopped since. And I truly believe that you need to journal. You need to journal because you need to be able to see what is happening. You need to be able to see how much you've grown. You need to be able to see what you need to work on. You need to be able to see your mistakes and your victories, your lessons and your wins. And the only way you can do that is by documenting it. So you're going to need a piece of paper. I suggest you get a journal. But also there's amazing apps. And I use an app called Day One. I haven't used it much lately, but I am a very slow writer. So I use it when I really want to say a lot, right? But honestly, I really love to write. So sometimes I'll just, whatever. If it takes me 2 hours to write the journal entry, it is what it is. Journaling is very therapeutic. You need to do it. So that's the first thing you need. You need a piece of paper. Okay, so step one is you're going to vent. And you're going to vent with 100% honesty. Okay, and vent as if you are venting to your best friend. Okay, vent as if you are venting to your therapist, your mom, whatever it may be. But vent as if you're venting to someone else that you trust. And the key, you need to do this with 100% honesty. Why? Well, my mentor told me something one day that has stuck in my heart and has never left my mind. And it actually is like a foundation in my life, honesty. So he told me this: we as people only get better when we are emotionally honest. Say whatever you want to say. I don't care how messed up it is. I don't care how sad it is. It does not matter. No one's going to read this but you. Okay? Say whatever it is you want to feel and be 100% honest, because that is where the work and the unlocking of yourself starts to happen. What do I mean by unlocking of yourself? Well, that's where you start to get rid of the mess. Unlock those walls within yourself that are keeping you from becoming the best version of yourself. And you can only do that by being 100% honest. So you need to vent with 100% honesty. There are no boundaries when it comes to this. Say whatever it is that you feel, because that is real. What you feel and what you are experiencing is real, and we need to honor that. So that is step 1. Vent with 100% honesty. Now, step 2. You're going to read it and understand it from the perspective of an outsider. So after you vent, okay, you're going to take a second to breathe, okay? And then you're going to go back and you're going to read it as if you're reading someone else's vent. So this is where you start to kind of trick your brain a little bit. But what this does is that it takes away your own personal biases and activates self-love and compassion within yourself. Why? Because when a friend comes to us that we really love and vents to us, we want to give them back the advice that they need with love and compassion. Well, in this case, you're tricking yourself into doing that for yourself. Okay? So act like this is someone else's vent. Analyze it from that perspective. And what this does is this starts to subconsciously and even consciously activate that self-love and self-compassion for yourself that you need to get the answers and get on this path to creating the best version of yourself and creating your dream life. So step 2, you read the vent from the perspective of an outsider. Okay, now let's move on to step 3. You're still in the perspective of an outsider and you're going to give advice from that perspective. So you're going to, after you vent and after you read it from an outside perspective, you're going to give advice from that outside perspective. So this is my best friend talking, okay? What advice would I give my best friend who's going through this? But really it's you. You're just tricking your mind, right? So what does this do? This activates your critical thinking skills, okay? I find that when I give advice to other people, I have so much critical thinking going on because I love that person and I want the best for them. And you're doing that for yourself. And who knows your life better than yourself? Okay? So this, takes out the personal biases and activates that self-compassion and self-love. And this is where you can really start to cultivate those critical thinking skills because you're seeing the whole picture now from a different perspective, right? This also activates compassion again and awareness, okay? This is where you really start to be aware. Okay, what is really going on and what is it that I need? What is it that I'm searching for, right? So that is step 3. You're going to give advice from an outside perspective. Now, this is where it all ties in together. So you're going to now take away the perspective that you're an outsider. You're going to come back to yourself, okay? This is me, okay? You're going to read the vent knowing that this was your vent, okay? And you're going to read the response and the advice that you gave yourself from an outside perspective, but claim it as this is me giving myself advice. You need to embrace this because this is you. And this is you being there for yourself. And not only that, but this is action. You see, the key to change is action. And with that action is proof that you can be there for yourself and that you can love yourself. It is already within you and it's actually innate. But, because of society and things that happen in life, we've steered away from that. But you, by doing this practice, you're coming back to that and you're grounding in yourself. Now, this part cultivates self-love, compassion, mindfulness, and awareness. And honestly, that is like the most powerful step 4, honestly, in my opinion. And like I said, when I was doing this, I didn't even realize what I was doing until like a few weeks later. I just noticed this like hyper awareness, this self love. I noticed that my patterns started to change. You know, the way that I would react to things were changing, the way that I saw things were changing. I wasn't judging myself. You know, when a flaw about myself came up, instead of feeling shame and letting pride get in the way of me becoming a better person, I embraced that part of myself and I asked myself, where did this come from? And I used this journaling practice to figure it out. This journaling practice has helped me figure out my entire life. Like, seriously. So I'm just like really proud of this. And now the final step, step 5, take your power and control and talk to yourself. Analyze these journal entries and see, okay, I'm dealing with insecurity. I'm dealing with jealousy. I'm dealing with procrastination. I'm dealing with not being a good daughter. I'm dealing with not being a good friend. I'm dealing with not being confident. The list can go on and on and on and on. But by you having this map, that's basically what it is. A brain map of what is happening, you are able to pinpoint certain things about yourself, certain patterns, certain things that you want to work on, things that you want to strengthen, and do it. And all you needed was yourself and some guidance through this practice, and that's all. Identify what is happening and what you need to do and get to work. So guys, that is the How to Become Your Best Friend mind training / journaling practice. I hope that you try this out, and I cannot wait to hear y'all's testimonies. This is something that I do honestly every other day when I need to. I used to do it every day, but now I do it when I need to, because once you do this for like 6 months to a year, it's automatic. It's automatic. You don't have to write things down. Like, you know how to talk to yourself. You know how to be there for yourself. You know how to critically think. You know how to love yourself. And it just becomes automatic. And that's what I'm trying to teach my community. I do not believe in the healing process. Now, there is a process that you need to go through to conquer things and heal. But I don't believe that it is a long life journey that needs to continue. Why? Because that's not what God destined us to be. God told us that we are healed. He did not tell us that we are healing, that we're going to have to live in enslavement, mental enslavement our whole lives. No, that's not what He promised. It's not. So that's why I'm so passionate about teaching this, because I've seen it within my own life that I've ended patterns. And that is the power. That is how you get to the highest version of yourself, is by putting an end to things and training yourself to react differently and create different neural networks that will work for you and not against you. And this amazing mind training / journaling practice will show you how to just do that, so it can be automatic and already within you, and you can go conquer life and live your best life. And there you guys go. So thank you so much for tuning into today's video and for being open and taking the first step to creating the best version of yourself. I hope that you try this journal entry, and I cannot wait to see y'all's testimonies and what comes up and how y'all evolve and create the best versions of yourself using these tools. I love y'all. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.